Om Jayati Jagati Maya Yasya Kaya Namaste Vachana Rachana Mekam Kevalam Chakalaya Dhruvapadamapi Yato Yat Krupato Dhruvoyam Sakala Kushala Patram Brahmaputram Natosmi. We have started the topic of Gauni Bhakti yesterday. A question has been asked, beautiful question from Swami Yogatmananda. He is asking whether it is 3 plus 3 or 3 into 3. That means Artha Bhakti of a Sattvic, Artha Bhakti of a Rajasic, Artha Bhakti of a Tamasic, like that each 3 of 3. That is not true. Just now I replied before the class to Shritama. Now, the difference is that natural bhakti and caused bhakti. Another question was there. How Tamoguni bhakti is superior to these bhaktis? Same answer. In the caused bhakti, the danger is that if the cause is gone, the bhakti is gone. That is not true about the natural bhaktis. Suppose there is a Sattva-guni man and he is bhakta. He will ask God for very little things. God, give me peace of mind. God, my practice should be continued. He does not want to go higher. But whatever he is practicing, he wishes that it should continue. God, give me 2 morsels of food. He will not ask more. But this is not Artharthi Bhakti. He has a natural Bhakti, and the nature of his Bhakti will make him ask something. And if this man is afflicted by pain, he will remember God more. If he wants further knowledge, he will remember God. But they will not be included in the caused bhaktis. Bhakti is natural in him. Beautiful question. And that is the reply. There is a Rajoguni man. He will ask to increase his properties and all that. We'll take an example from history. We do not know it is true about the persons or not, but an example is there. It is between the Emperor Akbar and a sadhu. Now, Emperor Akbar, on one of his expeditions, found a good Mahapurush. So he said, please come to my palace, I want to give you something. Now that Mahapurush said, what is the need? I don't require anything. But the president pressed to oblige me, please do come. He went there. Now when the sadhu went there, Akbar asked him to please wait a little. I have to finish my prayers. And in the prayer, Akbar is asking, God give me more empire, God give me more wealth. The sadhu got up and started leaving. Why, sir, I do not want to beg from a beggar. If I want something, I will ask God. You are yourself a beggar. You are asking God for this or that. From you, I don't want to beg. Now, Akbar is also a natural bhakta. Every day is praying. If you go that way, our Sikh brothers, if you hear their prayer in the Gurdwara, you will be very much surprised. I remember our revered Swami Vandananji came to Chandigarh and I took him to Amritsar Golden Temple. And he heard the prayer there. They are asking, defeat our enemies. And the old things still they are asking. Let us be victorious. Let enemies be killed. He said, what is this bhakti? That is a part of their bhakti. They live with that every day. Their bhakti does not depend upon enemies being killed or not. That is the difference. If a man is bhakta only because he desires something, the moment that desire is over, that bhakti will be gone. If a man has natural bhakti, not real bhakti, mind you, not real bhakti. Sana kamayamana nirodhurupatvat, we have been told. It cannot coexist with desires. Narade bhakti cannot coexist with desires. But Gauni bhakti is Sattvic bhakta, Rajasic bhakta, they have their own demands. But their bhakti will not go away if that thing is not God. That is the difference. Tamoguni bhakta, maybe he is lazy, maybe he has inertia. We have seen many people in this world. We think how they are bhaktas, Tamoguni people, but they are very sincere in their prayer. So, bhakti is for God who is Trigunatit. And that is why man with any quality is qualified to pray to God. His idea of God may not be correct, and he may be resisting any change of ideas. That is the property of Tamogun. Remember, all of us have Tamogun. Without Tamogun, a man cannot be there. But whether we are resisting inertia or we are ready to change. I remember here, there is a very popular shloka in the north, I will again divide. Another shloka in the south. And they are from the same stotra. And the stotra is Saraswati stotra. In North India, Ya Kundendu Tusharahara Davala is very common. And how Saraswati is prayed for? Nishesha Jadya Paha. Jadya is inertia. And we are praying to Saraswati to remove our Jadya completely. That is what education is. And another shlok from the same stotra, Veena Pustaka Dharinim. In the first line itself, Jadya Paha. Jadya itself is darkness. And Saraswati's quality is to remove this darkness of inertia. So, if you pray to Saraswati in the field of education, what we want to remove? Our Jadya. How much people resist any change of idea that you have seen? That is Jadya. He has bhakti, but he will not change his bhakti. So, Tamoguni Bhakta will continue to have bhakti till his life end. While an Artha or a Jidnasu or Arthati will be devoted to God so long as his want is not fulfilled. The moment want is fulfilled, I quoted a Marathi proverb that day. We go to a doctor when we have some disease. And when the disease is over, do we remember the doctor? Gone. Our sambandh with that doctor is gone the moment we are cured. So that will happen with God. So similar appearance will be there. Yogatmananda, similar appearance will be there. A Sattuguni man praying for something, Sattuguni man praying more when he is sorry or miserable. Rajoguni man praying, Tamoguni man praying. The test will be, even if their prayer is answered or not answered, they will continue their bhakti. While the caused bhakti, bhakti is not natural in the man. misery has made him think of God. His desire for knowledge has made. Now, I was giving the example of boys going for examination. After examination, there is no God. So, man praying to God or having bhakti because of his want of something, man praying to God to remove his misery, man praying to God for more knowledge. They have the danger, when the need is over, no connection with God. Man with sattva, rajatama, natural bhakti may also pray for these things, may also want these things, but his bhakti does not depend upon getting those things or not. Even the real bhaktas, they will pray to God, but they will not give up their bhakti if that prayer is not fulfilled. Whom else to pray? Whom else to pray? Shall we go and pray the rich people in the world, the politicians? What will we get? If you want to pray, we'll pray to God only. Why we should not pray? But in the real bhakti, there is no place for other desire that we have seen of it. And that question I had replied. Somebody had asked, you are always wanting something. I told that then that bhakti is not real. In Narada Bhakti or real bhakti, no place for desires has been declared already. Sana kamayamana nirodurupatva. And in the development also we are told kamana rahitam. So any gross or subtle kamana is not there. Okay? Then in the last class, we were given the classification of bhaktis and I replied to that questions now. And along with classification, an order was given, which are nearer to real bhakti or which can be more easily turned into real bhakti. And there we are told, Uttarasmad, Purva Purva Shreyaya Bhavati. Sattva Raja Tama Artha Jigyasu Artharthi. In that, whatever is told before, that is nearer to real bhakti or that can be more easily turned into real bhakti. That is what we are told. Then next topic was, Narada is telling, because you don't have real bhakti, you have some bhakti, whether caused or natural, you do not give up. People will say, why not go by some other path? But bhakti has come to you, either natural bhakti or it has come to you. Once bhakti has come to you, it is natural to go by that path. So, Annasmat Saulabhyam Bhaktav. In the case of a man who has got bhakti, it is natural for him to travel by that path. So it is sulabha. And then we are told some qualities of bhakti. Shanti Rupat, Paramananda Rupat. No, Pramanantarasya Anapekshadvat, Swayam Pramanatvat. If you are praying to God, God is proved automatically. If you have any kind of bhakti, God is proved automatically. I give you Swami Vivekananda's analysis. He says that if I am hungry, I want to eat food. This itself, psychology inductively proves that there is something called food, otherwise I would not have a desire for that. There is something called my stomach where the food can go. And there is something called my mouth through which the food will go. So I want to eat food itself proves that three things. So if I am loving God, then it proves that God is there. It proves that He can be loved and there are means of loving Him. All these are proved simply by my love for God. So if the bhakti is love for God or attraction for God, then Now I will tell you another type of bhakti, whether tamoguni, rajoguni you see. I feel tamoguni. With an example I will. I was in Chennai for 2 years. A person from Orissa had come to Chennai for salt business. He had also spent 2 years in Chennai. But at that point, we met each other. He was a regular devotee in the Chennai Mutt. And I used to take class there we met. So he's asking me, Maharaj, is there no difference between fear of God and love of God? What he saw in the whole Tamil Nadu, mind you. People go to Murugan temple, Subramania temple, and they punish themselves, they hold their ears, slap themselves, do sit-ups. He said, where is the love of God? Is this not fear of God? I told him, my friend, for 2 years I'm in Tamil Nadu and I have the same question in my mind. You understand now? This is Tamoguni Bhakti. Is God something to be feared? But that is his concept and he does accordingly. The young man had come from Orissa. If you have visited Jagannath temple, if you have visited Lingaraj temple, there you will see the difference. I will tell you, I went to Orissa. One devotee lady called me to her house and she wanted to give me lunch. But before that, or after, I don't remember, she put up a record, a bhajan song. A devotee, Salabega is famous there, a Muslim devotee of Jagannath. And Salbega's bhajans are very popular in Orissa. And that Salbega is abusing God. Oh, Kalya, you don't understand our difficulties? That was the theme of the song. Now the Orissa lady thought I will not understand this word Kalya. She said, Swami, do you know what Kalya means? Blackie. Now, unfortunately or fortunately, in Marathi language, same word is there, Kalya. And same meaning, Blackie. This is Bhakti. Salve is very famous for his Bhakti. I will tell you one incident about Salve. Now Salve went to take darshan of Jagannath. And they drove him out, the pujaris and others, because he is a Muslim. So he goes to some distance and sits alone, thinking of God. Now the Ratha Yatra day was there. You know, in Ratha Yatra, one side the king of that place, even now the titular king is there. The other side the priests. And they hold the Ratha prominently. Then behind them, lakhs and lakhs of people. But unless these two are there, the chariot does not move. And both are there, and chariot is not moving. They tried and tried, the chariot was not moving. Then they all went back to their places. And that king is very sincerely thinking, Lord, what has happened? And the Lord showed him by signs or told him that my devotee is sitting there. And you have thrown him out. Without him, I will not move. So the king went to Salve, requested him, please come, please come, please come, in spite of opposition from others. And when Salve put his shoulder to the wheel, then the chariot moved. It's a documented event. So we know Salve is a devotee, dear devotee to God. And in his songs, he is telling, Kalya, you don't understand our difficulties. Please excuse me. In Tamil Nadu, we do not find this. And that is why that Orissa man asked me, is there no difference between fear of God and love of God? So, now, taking fear of God or that form also as bhakti, we can classify as tamoguni bhakti. Anyway, excuse me for these examples, but they are my life's experience. Now, so we are told that, take this man, he is afraid of God. If there is no God, what is afraid of? So you don't require any proof for God. God is the ruler. I am afraid of him. That itself proves God. Such a thrilling thing Narada is telling us. Whatever may be your bhakti, you do not require a proof for God. Swayam pramanatvat. Your bhakti, whether it is fear or love or whatever, is proof that God exists. And then we are told, Shanti Rupat Paramananda Rupacha. Or such a bhakta, whether natural bhakta, Sattvarajatama, or caused bhakta, Artha Jidnasura Artharthi, which are the moments of peace in his life, and which are the moment for supernatural joy in his life, only when he is doing bhakti. Even this man, the Murugan temple man, does he not feel peace during that time? Does he not have an iota of joy? In punishing himself, you feel joy there. I will say that. So any bhakta, whether natural or caused, if you analyze his life, it is during the moments of bhakti that he has peace and joy. And the joy is definitely not sensuous joy. So Paramananda. Up to this we were told, Narada is telling the Gaun Bhaktas of any category. Now the things are common. He has classified and he has given the order. Now he is talking commonly to all the Gaun Bhaktas. He is not picking out one of them now. And he is telling them, this is your asset, do not give it up. And now he will have to guide them how to change this into real bhakti. So we come to Sutra 61. Lokahanau chinta anakarya nivedita atma loka vedatva. That thought we have to take first because that is the Hetu Panchami. You must dedicate yourself to Nivedita Atma Loka Vedatva, three things. Surrender yourself to God. Dedicate yourself to God. Dedicate all your Lokik act. Now it's changing the ordinary Bhakta to real Bhakta. Dedicate all your secular activities to God. Dedicate whatever sadhana you are doing to God. That is the first step of change. Automatically, the Mahapurush is changing. Automatically, he is not changing. Simply by grace. He is guiding us how to change. Now, in this respect, I have to pause a little. I had told in the matters of real bhakti that a guru had given a Marathi stanza ascribing it to Samartha Ramdas Swami. That a guru who does not make the Shishya do sadhana, if you get three such for half a pice, throw them away. So some friend from Maharashtra suggested there are four lines in that stanza and one line is missing. And that line is, unless he teaches self-control and asks us to do sadhana, he is not to be respected. So Guru will ask us to do sadhana, will ask us to practice self-control, then we should accept it. Anyway, that line was missing, so I told you. So here, the Mahapurush or Narad himself is telling, if you have to change to real bhakti, the first condition is dedication of all these things to God. And having done that, lokano chintana karya, that's a very big thing. Swamiji has explained this in Bhakti Yoga nicely. What is the obstruction? Why they are not real bhaktas? If I go to bhakti little more, I may have worldly loss. Kind of, in all these bhaktas. Whether natural or false bhaktas, they think if I get devoted to God more, I may suffer worldly loss. Is it not? And Narada is replying, if you are dedicated yourself to God, your secular activities and sadhana to God, do not think, do not be anxious about lokahani, about some loss in the world. Do not be anxious. Because that is the crux of the matter. The real bhakta is never anxious. Whatever happens, he is not worried at all. Why the man is not real bhakta? One of the obstructions or the main obstruction is this. We are afraid of lokahani. And Narada is telling, do not be anxious for lokahani. What Swami Vivekananda has told, he says, suppose being devoted to God causes you some honey in the world. Maybe, suppose it is there. But if you are not devoted to God, you are losing the world and also God. You are having more this damage in your life if you are not devoted to God, remember. So when we think, oh, if I go one step more, what will happen to me? In the real bhakti sadhana, we are told, yoga kshemam tejati. Here it is not a question of yoga kshema even. Some loss. Some loss. Now people are doing job. If I do not go in time to the job, I may be punished or maybe something may happen to me. And if for that you are giving up your bhakti, everything will go. So lokahano chinta na karya is the first instruction Narada is giving as a Mahapurush himself to change our ordinary bhakti into real bhakti or sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, artha, jidnasu, artharthi is that do not be anxious that you may have some loss in the world. Because you are dedicated yourself, your worldly activities and your sadhana to God, having dedicated, so one positive instance and one negative. Having dedicated yourself, your secular activities and your sadhana to God, do not be anxious for some loss in the world. Okay? We proceed further. This will create a very big change. Ordinary bhakta becoming real bhakta, this will be a very big change. Now immediately a reaction comes in our mind. Then we should not worry about our regular activities in the world. Should we not do regular activities in the world? Narada said, that I have not told you. That I have never told you. Na tad asiddhau loka vyavaharo heya. Na tad asiddhau. That means real bhakti. Till you get real bhakti, you have to follow the logic laws. You have to follow the laws of social behavior or your worldly activities. You have to follow. I'm not asking not to follow. I only said don't be anxious for a loss in the world because of real bhakti. And then this is not sufficient. Na tad asiddho loka vyavharo heya kintu is there. But phalatyagaha tad sadhanam cha karyameva. But two things you have to do. Again, balancing. Okay, activities you are doing, immediately all the desired fruits come. If I am doing some activity, I must get this result, I must get that result. He says, Phalatyag you must do. You must renounce the fruits of your activities. People say, how to renounce the fruit? I tell them it is a mental input. You have to tell your mind, I do not want this fruit. I am doing Lokik activities because I am in the world. I am a student, so I have to study regularly. I have a job, so I must do it regularly. More than that, don't think of the fruit of that work. Or thinking of this fruit. I will give an example. I was in Chandigarh. One student came to me, engineering student, and said, I want to study, but I am not able to study. I said, what happens? You tell me. The book is open, but I am thinking, I'll pass the examination, then I will get a job, then I will marry, and my study is lost. I said, you see, thinking of fruit has spoiled your study. So Phalatyag is a mental input. And Tat Sadhanam, Narada is this, you see, Narada is a cruel guru, na? Nishtur. If you want real bhakti, you have to change. He says, I accepted your bhakti to some extent, but you have to change. And that question was asked, if we do not get a Mahapurush, we have got Narada here as our Mahapurush. If you follow Narada, it is his grace we are getting. So a question hanging in our minds for days together, I am replying today. How to seek a Mahapurush? Where to find him? Narada has come to our help himself. Is he not a Mahapurush? Is following him not a Mahapurusha Sanshaya? So Narada himself has come forward and he says, I have come to you on behalf of so many gurus. So that is the answer. How will you get a Mahapurush? We have got one in Narada. But he is telling that I have told you what is the sadhana for real bhakti, that you must practice. What is the sadhana of real bhakti? The first part of the second chapter, Vishya Tyagat, Sangat Tyagat, Vyavutta Vajanat, Lokepi Bhagavad Guna Shravana Kirtanat, Mukhatastu Mahakrupyayo. You must practice that. So, do not be anxious for Lokani. Dedicate yourself to God. Yourself, your secular activities, worldly, your sadhana, all dedicated to God. Then you will come to this point of not being anxious of the worldly laws, but do not give up your worldly activities. You must practice it. So long as you have not got the real bhakti, there is not the limit. When you are into the real bhakti, that bhakti itself is your full-time occupation. So, tad asiddho loka vyavharo heya. Till you achieve that, the lokika vyavhar is not to be given up, but you must give up the fruit thereof, mental input. Tell your mind, I do not want the fruit there. And you must practice the steps told for getting bhakti. So that you will have to do. How will like Mahapurush grace will simply change you? So you have to do those steps. Then one more instruction. Very important this. And we have to carefully understand this. Stri Dhana Nastika, in bracket there is part where Vairi Charitram Na Shravaniyam. Literally translated, it becomes no, almost all my audience is ladies only. And it says we should not hear this Striya's Charitram. And if Narada actually means any Stri, the ideal Bhakti has given the example of Radha. Should we not read that life? Here something special is meant. Huh? Now, believe me or not, believe Narada or not, a fickleness is ascribed to Stri. In Hindi, the fickleness of ladies, Tiriya Charitaram they say. Tiriya. Tiriya means Striya. Striya is called Tiriya. Charitra. In Sanskrit there is a stanza. Striya Charitram Purushasya Bhagyam Devo na janati buddho manushya. The character of a Stri and the luck of a man, even the gods do not know what a man can say. Now Narada said, don't go that way. Don't read any fictitious novels straight away. Don't read those novels which deal with fickleness of the mind of Stri. Example, I read them before I read Narada. Those who have read Thousand Nights, Arabian Nights, Thousand Nights, you remember something there? Narada asked us not to read that, but I will quote a little from that to understand what Narada means. A man loves a woman, they marry. Another woman starts loving that man. And with the permission of the first lady, she marries him. Muslims, they have many wives. And so, and they become very great friends. They do not quarrel with each other. Ideal co-wives. Now sons are born to them, and the sons are growing, and they become young men. The story says both the mothers become attached to their stepsons. Attached means they got that attraction or love for them, which originally they had for that main man whom both of them had married. Understood this? And then the sons understand that my stepmother is attracted to me. The other son also understands that his stepmother is, and they run away from the palace. Let us not stay here. Tremendous calamity will come if we fall in their love. That is one of the stories. And like that, like I think enough why not. So this fickleness of mind, please excuse me, I'm telling what Narada has told. Don't say that fickleness of mind is not in man. Then avoid him also. So, Sirius Charitram here means stories of fickleness of mind, whether man or woman, let us take it. Because woman's fickleness is more known to history. That is why Narada is talking like that. Sirius Charitram na Shravaniyam. Don't even listen to them because it will make sanskaras in you. In Sri Ramakrishna saying, if you don't want to eat fish, don't go to fish market. Because that fish smell will make a sanskar in you and you will like to eat fish. Bengalis will understand. Mach Kavina, Majer, Bajari Jamaican. So, second point is wealth. That is another fad these days. Those who earn money, right or wrong means we do not know. And we become their fans. And we want to read all these stories, how they earn money. Some name was coming out of my lips, I'm stopping here. Any such people who are successful in the world, we forget we are devoted to God. So, ordinary bhaktas, real bhaktas will never care for this. Instructions for the ordinary bhaktas to turn them into real bhaktas. Narada is telling, don't listen to Sriya's Charitra. Don't listen to the Charitras of wealthy man. Then your mind will be more attracted to wealth than to God. And Nastika, this is something very important. I want you to say in Maharashtra, but everywhere. In the Marathi textbook, there was a story. You remember? A godlike man who never believed in God. Remember? Devanna Mandara Devamanus. In Punjab, in Chandigarh, there is a society called Devasava. We are gods. Why we should believe in God? And there are schools and colleges and all that. One of a very high quality sadhu, I remember, became attracted to John F. Kennedy's life. Was American president once upon a time. His merits, his qualities, and he became a sort of a fad for. His guru told him, don't go that way. Whatever you see in John Kennedy, good qualities, are they not infinitely present in God? For good qualities, why go to a man who does not believe in God? Of course, Kennedy believed in God, but I tell you the story. Why go to a worldly man to appreciate something when all those things are present in God? There are some people who praise Ravana like anything, Karna like anything. Why go to them? Why not seek the devotee's life? Why not think of the gopis? Why not think of Arjuna? Why not think of the high class devotees, whether Tamilians or Keralites or Bengalis or Maharashtrians, does not matter? Why not think of God? So, Nastika Charitram na Shravaniyam, that will spoil your mind. Don't go that way, Narada says. Again, remember, these are our instructions for the ordinary bhaktas to become real bhaktas. Then there is a part where Vairi Charitram na Shravaniyam. There is a common thing in Vaishnavas. Shishupal or Ravana, they were devotees. And their bhakti is called Vairi Bhakti. By opposing God, they are living in. Don't go that way, Narada. Don't go that way. Why not go straight to God? In Mahabharata, there is a story. Ghatotkacha's son. He asked his mother how to get God. He said, lot of tapasya will have to do, so many things she described. Is there no quicker way? She said, yes. If you are killed by God, you will get mukti immediately. So he started opposing Krishna. Narada says, please do not go that way. Go very straight Rajpath. So do not listen to their stories, however great may be in the world. Sri Dana, Sri was substituted by fickleness of the mind, whether it is Sri or Purush. Dhana, wealthy man who is not devoted to God. Nastika, a highly moral man but does not believe in God. How long? Don't be attracted to him. Don't be attracted. All the qualities which are in him, you can find in God, infinite level, you can find in good devotees of God. So don't be attracted to a Gnostic man because he is good moral life. Very, don't be deluded by those stories of Ravana was devoted to Rama, he wanted to get killed from him. Don't go that way. You are earning bad qualities in your life by following them. Then now come two beautiful sutras. You have to read them in relation to each other and remember that Narada Bhakti Sutra is based upon Gita. So if somewhere you use the word Adi, it means a list which you have to find in the Gita. That is the meaning. Abhimana Dambadikam Tyajam. Abhimana Damba Adikam Tyajam. What it should remind us? 16th chapter of the Gita, Asuri Sampatti, Dambo Darpobhimanascha, Krodha Parushyameva cha, Agyanam Chavijatasya, Partha Sampadam Asuri. Please find in the 16th chapter of the Gita, Asuri Sampatti being described. And there both these words are coming, though not in the same order. Dambo Darpo Abhimanascha, Krodha Parushyameva cha. I will translate all of them. Agyanam Chavijatasya, Partha Sampadam Asuri. What is Asuri Sampad? Being devoted to your indriyas, that is called Asura. Asura is not something opposite to Sura. Asu means Indriya Prana, energies stored in our Indriya. Asura is opposed to Deva, not Suras. Devas means in whose life Chaitanya is the man, consciousness is the man. Asura is the man in whom Indriyas are the man. So, those whose life Indriyas are the man, what are their qualities? Damba. Because Narada said Adi. So you have to remember the old shlokas. Damba means ostentation in English. Meaning, you are showing something more than you have. That is ostentation. You may have some little money. Immediately, the house changes. Tables, chairs, plates, spoons. This Damba is in every sphere. Huh? You have some religiosity. You will show painting your body everywhere and mala and this and that. Damba. Shankaracharya actually has described Damba as Dharma Dvajitvam. Putting flags here and there that I am religious. Now Damba can be in the mock modesty also. You have some modesty, you have some namrata, but you show more than that. Understood? So Damba is ostentation. I remember one story. I was in Chandigarh and had gone for class somewhere. While coming back, the host car broke down. So he left me on the road and he went to repair his car. Some car was coming. I was just showed my hand and stopped. In Chandigarh, this is very easy. Huh? Anybody will give you lift. He was a military man. Then we started talking. He is asking, how many years you are in Chandigarh? I told him, whatever, 3, 4 years. He said, can you tell me your observation of Chandigarh? Judgment. I asked them, should I tell you good qualities or bad qualities? He said, bad qualities first. Then I said, ostentation. He said, Maharaj, in military, this is too much ostentation. In Hindi, you can call it bhapka. And he said, but within very few days, we understand the hollowness of ostentation. That is what he don't, as you really remember it. So, Damba must be given up. Asuri Sampatti must be given up. Therefore is ego to such an extent. This in English translation, therefore, stage, bad smell. The ego is so much that it smells. People can find out you have too much ego. Therefore, Abhiman. Abhiman means your pride in yourself. Your pride in yourself. Your body consciousness, your mind consciousness, my mind, my brain, my physical strength. This is called Abhiman. When it grows excessively, then it is called Asuri Sampatti. Growth, anger. A little anger may be in everybody, but anger becomes the property of that. That is Asuri Sampatti. Parushya. Parushya means roughness in dealing with people. Your behavior hurts people. That is called Parushya. And then Ajnana. Your ignorance about God is one thing, but your ignorance about many things is Asuri Sampatti. Now, Narada says, if from ordinary bhakti you want to go to real bhakti, you must give up these things on principle. Abhimana dambadikam tyajyam. So, damba, darpa, abhiman, krodh, parushya are to be given up. Now, very funny thing comes in the next sutra. Again, the word abhiman comes. Tadarpita akilachara san kama krodha abhimanadikam tasminneva karaniya. Abhimana tyajyam, he says. And he says abhimana has to be done about God. Now the list is kama krodha abhimanadikam. How to understand this? In a man, these things are natural. In every man, these things are natural. When they grow excessively, that is Asuri Sampatti. Due to Indriya Pradhanata. And you must give up if they are growing excessively. But what about those things which are very natural in man? How can we give up? Now, Kama here will have two meanings both. Desires and lust. Both meanings are in Kama. And is it not ingrained in man? Just to say, give it up, real Bhakta is given up. The Kamana does not stand with her. Now the ordinary Bhakta has to become a real Bhakta, and he has Kamana, he has lust even. Then what to do? Turn it to God. In Shri Ramakrishna's word, Mod Guryada. Change their direction to God. It's something great, please. I will explain tomorrow. This is a very great sutra. We'll have to take step by step, and I will explain it tomorrow only. But the previous sutra I told, and in contrast with that, you have to understand That when it is excessive, it is called Asuri Sampatti, must be given up. When they are very natural in man, they have to be turned to God. That thing which are very natural has to be turned to God. You see, growth also has come. Growth is in the Asuri Sampatti also. Growth excessive has to be given up. If natural growth is there, turn it to God. So, Kama, Krodha, Abhimanadikam, Tasmin Neva Karaniya. It is to be done in the direction of God alone. Of course, there is a previous part, Tadarpita Akila Charasan. That is common. That is, having dedicated all your actions to God, you can practice this. Having dedicated all your actions to God, you can change the direction of Kama, Krodha, Abhiman, Ityadi, others towards God Himself. We'll take it up now. Om Jayati Jagati Mayam Yasya Kaya Dhavaste Vachana Rachana Mekam Kevalam Chakalaya Dhrupadamapi Yato Yat Krupato Dhruvoyam Sakala Kushala Patram Brahmaputram Natosmi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hare Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanam.